And right back into the thick of it with part 4, guys. Ha! Part 3, sorry. And here we have the beautiful thief. Her name is Haru, and she is the daughter of the president of a popular chain of restaurants. And that's about all we know about her. We know she does not see the import of personal relationships, but she is very observative. Observative? I don't even know if that's a word. She observes very well. I English so well at the moment. I'm so sorry, guys. She also uses a rocket launcher, not a rocket launcher, a grenade launcher, and a two-handed axe. This also, by the way, is what I was talking about in the first video with personal special attacks. I believe this is what's going to pop up when you have the special option there in the shoot menu. I think that each character is going to have a certain number of attacks tailored specifically to them that do not involve their persona. Also, as a side note here, a very important side note, however, and I'll have this noted down in the description, the stills in Famitsu also have pictures of him on dates with Haru, which I'm pretty sure is going to be social links or cooperation. Excuse me, I burped. Or cooperations as they are here in Persona 5. Onward. And here we see Futaba's habit of having something over her head when she's in a group of more than just the main character. One note here, apparently one of those code names is Koro. That'll become very important here very shortly. And there we saw Miss Makoto being badass. Now here, we see Alice being badass. Now here's Alice doing one of her signature abilities. Originally I thought this was die for me, because if you look at the dynamite on the back of the bears, the way it's obscured almost makes it look like die for me. There's no for though, it's the only thing. You see die and me, but that's actually dynamite. But it's still just very interesting that it looks that way in this manner. Now, this brings up the question, are different persona going to have unique attacks that aren't based around the usual? Like, is this die for me going to have a damage component as well as the instant death attack, or is this just a damage or an instant death attack like her die for me usually are? Either way, this is a very interesting attack to say the least. This is not her cards falling from the sky. This is her sending bears to do exactly what she's asking. And here we see a team-up attack between two of the main characters. This is the protagonist and Anne. Now, my question is this going to replace team-up attacks? Not team-up attacks, but support attacks from Persona 4. Because in Persona 4, when you did a support attack, it was just an automatic knockdown. And could usually led to all-out attacks if you'd played your cards right. So are co-op attacks here just damage, or is this a special version of co-op attacks, or once again is it going to vary from character to character? It's probably that last one now that I'm thinking about it. Onward. Justine and Caroline, and if you put the letters on their hats together, they spell oxymoron. Now, a couple things I'll point out here. These two once again look like Elizabeth and Margaret. Elizabeth and Margaret from Persona 3 and Persona 4. So I'm wondering if they're related like those two are. Also, the conjecture here is that these two are part of the same person, but they've been separated for some reason. And I think if I read that article right, it's because of Justine that they're two separate entities and not one person. And here we have the guillotine. The guillotine has several guesses surrounding it. The first is that this is how you fuse your persona, that it chops them up rather violently and then stitches them back together, Frankenstein style, so you get all the best parts. The other idea, however, and one that I think is gaining support in my mind, is that this is for you. this is for you and your persona, and it's if you don't achieve what you need to buy your set gold, then this is what's going to happen to you. Because obviously here in this, the girls and Igor are your jail keepers and your bookie. These are the guys who are responsible for you while you're in jail. So if you don't meet your deadline and do what you're supposed to do, now that's just a theory. We don't know for sure. We can't wait to find out, but we don't know. Now, I wasn't going to do any of the storyline theories, but this isn't a theory. This guy's just, he's walking up gold-plated statues, or possibly gold-plated people, because if you notice, it kind of bleeds as he walks up to a golden throne with more gold-plated people worshiping him or begging him. It's hard to tell. Either way, this is creepy as hell. And here's the other storyline part I want to stop at. You see this mysterious person here in front of Makoto. It's the only person we don't know who it is yet. You can see Haru over here, and there's Ryusuke, and there's Ryoji, and there's Anne's hair. And yeah, we got this guy here. We've seen one other picture of this guy, and this guy is on the box art. He looks a lot like Ken from Persona 3 in his last appearance in Persona 4 Arena. And another thing that makes me think that this is Ken, aside from the fact they are covering him left and right so that we have as few chances to guess who this is possible, is that his code name is Koro, like Koromaru, the dog from Persona 3. And we know it's obviously not the dog from Persona 3, but probably his next best friend, which was Ken. So that is my guess there. I'm calling it right now. I feel like the new character that we've not seen yet is Ken, but we shall see when it comes about. Welcome to the Velvet Room. And that's about Alshiro. Now some other broad sweeping things. I feel like they're trying to combine a lot of the elements from Persona 1 and 2 into Persona 5 with elements from Persona 3 and 4. I don't feel like they're dropping everything from those two. I think they're trying to mesh everything together into one grand RPG. And so far, it looks like they've succeeded. Like, just what little we've seen is just absolutely astounding. And I don't think I can wait for this. It's just so amazing to look forward to. And I've not had a good RPG in I don't know how long. I mean, a more traditional JRPG. But we still have a couple more months. They are doing a presentation at E3 where they'll probably have the announcement for the US release date. So we've got that to look forward to. All right, and that's about all I've got to say about this, guys. I will have the theories that other people haven't had down in the description, and I'll have the link to this video and probably to a Famitsu article for you guys. And I want to thank you guys very much for joining for me. This was very much a labor of love that I wanted to get out regardless of what it took. And I've done it. So thank you for being here with me for it. And I will be seeing you